If you're anything like me, you have a list of your own of dream species of reptiles you would love to keep one day. Stick around, because in today's video what I'm going to be going over is my personal top 5 list of dream reptile species that I someday would love to keep. So stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me here today. As you can see, I am in good company here today. I am with my gorgeous adult female Woma python Willow here today. She is fantastic. She is just such a sweetheart. About 5.5 years ago, I got Willow here, which was a dream species of snake that I've always wanted to keep, and I have loved Woma pythons, and I've never looked back. Now I have currently 3 Woma pythons, and I just love these guys to death, and I'm so excited to be working with this species. It is definitely a dream species. But what are your dream species that you would personally love to keep? I would love to hear down in the comments below, what are some favorite dream species of yours that you guys would someday love to keep? Or maybe there's species that you're currently working with that you were trying to work for a very long time and it's finally paid off for you. Let me know down below. I would love to hear what your dream species of reptiles are. Now with this list of dream reptiles, I mean, it's just that. It's simply just a list of reptiles. It's not simply something that, like, it's a shopping cart for me and I'm going to go out tomorrow and I'm going to buy these animals. I mean, that is just going to be a crazy amount of work, and it's a lot of workload that I just personally can't take on, at least at the time being right now, and just in my circumstances of space and time and everything that requires for these certain animals, it's very species specific, and it's just something that is too much than I can bite off right now, and it's just not worth it right now, and the animal's quality of care would suffer. So at the end of the day, it is just a list of dream species that I personally would love to own one day. If it doesn't work out at the end of the day, it doesn't work out. So it's all about quality of care over quantity of animals. So you always want to keep that in mind. It's not a contest whatsoever, but these are going to be the top 5 species of reptiles that someday I would love to own. And if I do, great. If not, that's okay too. So here we go. Let's kick off the list with number 1, the black-headed python. Very closely related to the Woma python here. But yeah, the Woma and the black-headed python are very closely related. And I just love Australian species of pythons, as you know. And these guys just take the cake for me. I think they are just a dream phenomenal animal. But ever since my first Tinley, when I went back in 2018 and I met Jason Hood and saw all his phenomenal black-headed pythons, he is definitely the king of black-head pythons, that's for sure. His lines of black-head pythons are phenomenal. Ever since I got my hands on one that very day, I was just absolutely hooked. Beforehand, they were always something really cool to see in books and online, but to see one in person and to actually hold one, I mean, it's just incredible, that's for sure. I mean, that head looks like it's actually just dipped in ink, and it's just so black, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful animal just in general. The colorations on them are just amazing. Very docile too, just like these guys can be, as Woma pythons are. Closely related, they're going to be very much similar in temperament as well too. I would love to keep one day. And really the only hindrance for me right now is price, and the reason being is I just don't think it's the time that I want to be shelling out right now for a snake like that. I want to make sure I have the right setup for it and everything as well to establish all that down the line, because that is an animal I want to make sure I have the quality of space for and time and care for, because that animal is just truly an amazing species for sure. So I definitely down the line want to get a black-headed python because they are just such a beautiful animal. So one day I think I will be getting a black-headed python. There's a time and place for everything, so hopefully down the line a black-headed python is in the cards. Fingers crossed. It's an amazing python species for sure. Alright, so number 2 on the list would be the Aldabra tortoise. Aldabra tortoises, as you guys know, are a big species of tortoise. If you guys don't know, definitely look them up. These guys weigh hundreds of pounds. They're incredibly great sized tortoises as they get older, live for long periods of time too, so it is a lifelong and beyond your life commitment as well too. So definitely always things to keep in mind as well when you're working with tortoises in general, and reptiles I would say in general too. They live long lengthy lives, and it's just a crazy thing that you have to think about with certain reptiles is this is an animal that's going to outlive you, and what are you going to do then? What are your plans then? Who is going to be on board to be taking over this animal for you? Just really crazy things. So that is always something that's a hindrance for me, is what can I do in terms of who will I pass this animal down to and stuff like that. At the end of the day, maybe you don't know at the very moment, and it's something something that'll come in time, but it's always something that should be in the back of your mind as well too, because these animals always deserve the utmost care, and an Aldabra tortoise definitely deserves a lot of care. And an Aldabra tortoise is no different. It requires a lot of resources in terms of maintenance and care and room to give it the habitat that it requires as well too. It's a lot of work, and it's definitely something right now, even if I get a baby right now, I want to make sure that that baby is able to thrive in a really great habitat. So I want to make sure it has the utmost care and ability to grow and thrive and everything like that. Really cool tortoises. I would love to get one day if I have the means and the space for one. But who knows, in an endgame kind of scenario, if I have a lot of space to give that animal and provide this animal all it needs, I would love to get an Aldabra tortoise or two. I think they are just phenomenal tortoises. And as you guys know, I am getting on a tortoise hitch. And I think, funny enough, the last time I did this video, I didn't have any tortoises. They were on my dream species list for reptiles that I wanted to keep, and I had like a list of 15 animals, but I kind of condensed that one down, and redfoots were actually on that list, believe it or not. Now I own a bunch of redfoots. So that's just proof that tortoises are becoming more and more a part of my life because I love them to death. So yeah, from that list to this list, I just love tortoises. It's so cool to see how things have evolved, and now I have redfoot tortoises and leopard tortoises. They're just incredible. I love tortoises to death. So that would definitely be another species of tortoise I would love to keep down the line. I think it would be great. So maybe it's in the cards, who knows. All right, so number 3 on the list would actually be the caiman lizard. And this is what a caiman lizard looks like right here. They are incredible looking, and you can see by their skin, and they are just like well armored, kind of like a crocodile or an alligator, more so than a lizard would be. I mean, they have a very different texture of skin, so they are a reptile that needs to be well armored to protect themselves from predation. So it's just really cool to see that kind of an animal. These guys do eat snails, which is something that you definitely have to have a good reliable source for, along with other different foods as well too, but snails are something that they absolutely love. They have great jaw strength to get through those snail shells to the actual snail itself, and it's just incredible to see. So definitely check out videos of that. If you haven't seen a caiman lizard eat, definitely check them out eating snails. It's something really cool. But yeah, caiman lizards are awesome. Again, another species that requires a lot of maintenance for sure. A lot of these species on my list are going to require a great amount of maintenance than I can provide right now. Down the line, maybe 1 or 2 of them I could pick off and work with comfortably, but I mean, it is definitely a huge workload for sure. But the cool thing with caiman lizards, and someone like me who's very creative and likes to build things and stuff like that, I would love the creative process of working with a caiman lizard and building out that enclosure, because like I said, they are arboreal as well as they are aquatic. So these guys require some sort of terrestrial and arboreal kind of cage, as well as something that's an aquatic and water feature as well too. So I would think that would be the coolest thing ever to kind of build out, but it's going to require a lot of space for them because they do need something big to swim in as well as something tall to climb in. So definitely a lot of work there, definitely a lot of space for them to need. So they need their own little real estate area as well too. So definitely something to always consider, but I would love that species. It 100% is not a lizard for everyone, but I think if you have the means for it, and if you do some really solid research on it, and if you think you're comfortable taking that on and building out something really cool for that animal, I say go for it. I think it's going to be a really cool thing, and I think it's very rewarding at the end of the day as well. All right, and number 4 on my list, and this has probably been an animal that's probably been on my list of dream species of reptiles probably for about 15 years now, believe it or not, and that is the Mexican spiny tail iguana, specifically the pied pectinatas. I think those are phenomenal looking. I think they're just so incredible. You guys know I love anything pied, and this is what they look like. They're no exception. These guys look incredible. Now, as a lot of you know, iguanas are a lot to take on, as you guys know. I mean, you got to build a real solid bond with these guys, along with all these other reptiles as well too, but they are a lot and a huge undertaking as well. They require a lot of maintenance. But I think just in general down the line, I would be happy to take on either a Mexican spiny tail iguana, the pied pectinatas, the banana pectinata, even a rhino iguana. I think that would just be so rewarding because I've seen the interactions and relationships people have built in the past with these guys, and it's just so incredible. I mean, these guys are just really phenomenal animals, and to see that relationship built up close and in person, it's something that I truly love. And I think in this past year and a half or so, building that relationship with Mushu, I truly understand the relationship people have with these lizards, and it's just so incredible to see, and it's truly rewarding just seeing that with Mushu and myself. But I think down the line, if I had the means to take care of one of these iguana species, and all three of those species that I listed, I would love to keep one of those guys. But who knows? Time will tell if I ever get an iguana. I mean, it's definitely something that I would love to keep, but again, it's been a dream species of mine for 15 years. It could be a dream species of mine for 70 years, and I still may never get one, and that's totally fine too. They are just really cool. At least I would love to see more of them in person, because I think they are just the coolest thing for sure. Alright, so number 5. This is a dream species of snake for a lot of people. Now, can you guess it? If you have a guess, pause this video down below, name your guesses down below what you think this dream species is. It is a rare species of snake that is actually kept in captivity, but it is definitely a rewarding one for sure if you can properly keep it and if you have one yourself. That is actually the Boelen's python. The Boelen's python is a beautiful species of python, and it is definitely a species that is not for everyone to keep, and not everyone can even afford to keep a captive baby of these guys. The reason they're so expensive is it is incredibly difficult to breed these guys in captivity. Some people are finally getting to crack it a little bit and are lucking out and producing babies of these guys, which is great because you never want to get one that's pulled out of the wild and wild caught. You should always go captive bred on these guys, and in general I would say captive bred is definitely the way to go. There are very few exceptions to that rule, but a lot of things should be captive bred for sure. But yeah, captive bred Boelen's pythons are definitely no joke. They are amazing animals, but they do have advanced care requirements. They require a lot of space as well too, and like I said, they cost a lot of money for just a baby, that's for sure. They are definitely a costly snake, and who knows, I mean, that is definitely something that I would love to keep. To kind of counter this number 5, because I doubt I could ever get my hands on owning a Boelen's python because of the cost of them and everything like that, I think my other top 5 one that I would say to replace the Boelen's python would just simply be a pied Burmese python, and maybe it would have some other genetics in it, but like you guys know, like I said before, I love anything pied. So a pied Burmese python, a big snake with the pied patterning on it, would just be beautiful for me. I think they are absolutely 100% the most gorgeous snakes for sure, and I would love to get my hands on a pied Burmese python. I think they're incredible. So I have some leads maybe down the line once I have the room to take on 2 Burmese pythons. It's crazy to even look back and think, like, when I first filmed this video of my dream species and I was actually holding Eddie in that video, he just fit in my palm of my hand, and now that animal like fits outside of both of my hands. He's just a big boy. So I could only imagine owning 2 Burmese pythons. That would just be crazy. So maybe it's in the cards down the line, I don't know, but all I know is that I would love a pied Burmese python. That would be a cool animal. But like I said, a Boelen's python would be cool too. I just don't ever see that happening, but fingers crossed, maybe one day it will. I think they're just incredible, that's for sure. What do you guys think of this list so far? Definitely let me know down below. I would love to hear your dream species as well too. But I'm also going to leave you guys off with one more in addition dream species that I would love to make the list. So here's number 6. So number 6 is kind of a little bit different. It's not exactly a reptile, it's an amphibian. I'm going to just say in general, I would love to keep more tree frogs and dart frogs in the future. I think I would love to have like a designated section to individually care for each individual species needs, because I love amphibians and dart frogs and tree frogs and all sorts. I think that would just be incredible. I would love to go down to Costa Rica, see all the amphibian species all throughout the day and night. I think that would just be incredible. And even when we were in Hawaii, I was just night and day checking out and looking for dart frogs and just hearing them call. It was just such a treat, that's for sure. So I would love to keep some dart frogs and some tree frogs myself. I would love to build out some bioactive enclosures. I think the whole process is fun. It's literally making living art, and it's just having a piece of the rainforest in your home. That's awesome. Let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I would love to hear your list of dream species. Maybe some of ours matched. My species really aren't in any particular order, but I would love to hear down in the comments below what your dream species are. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Willow and I appreciate it. If you guys could do us a couple favors, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Definitely check us out on social media as well too, because I would love to update you guys there on anything that's up and coming for us, as well as show off all the beautiful animals that I currently own as well too. So it's not all about the dream species that you want, it's about what you have currently, and that's the most important thing, right? Like I said, it's all about quality over quantity. Don't pick off more than you can chew. So that's absolutely what I'm doing. Like I said, this isn't like it's a grocery list that I'm just going to go out and buy everything right now. That would cost a small fortune in and of itself, as some of those animals are quite pricey. That's always something you want to make sure you're considering, is the quality of care that you're keeping these animals in over the quantity of animals you're keeping. So definitely always keep that in mind as well too. And as this room and my rooms keep evolving, what I'm basically going for is I'm striving to make sure that all these animals are kept in the best quality that I can provide them. So that's what we're going to continue doing as well too, as this room keeps evolving and as future rooms keep to come. So definitely stay tuned for that, because we're going to be building out some really cool enclosures for these animals that I currently own. So definitely stay tuned and make sure to subscribe down below, because you don't want to miss any of that. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Truly means the world to me. And until next time, we will see you guys soon. Take care.